Hi everybody, it's Colleen here from Authentic Pathways. Today I am super excited to show you this deck which I've bought recently purely, well, by accident. I was doing some research for court cards for an upcoming course, and I happened upon this deck and it is just so amazing. The pictures are all real life scenarios, which, you know, for me it makes tarot much easier to learn when you can relate it to a real life situation and a real life picture. So I've already unwrapped the box, obviously, because I've had a look at the pictures inside. But I would like to just walk through the deck with you to show you some of the amazing pictures. So first of all, it comes in this really beautiful little presentation box, which is really quite sturdy. It's really lovely. It's got a little pull ribbon here, and it's got these two little ribbons here to hold the box so that it doesn't break the spine. It's got a lovely book. Doesn't look, well, I mean, it looks comprehensive. It doesn't look as comprehensive as you think until you open it and you see that the text is really quite small, and we've got 3 columns of text. So yes, I mean the text is quite small, and I found, you know, reading it last minute at night wasn't ideal, but the way the book is laid out is fantastic. It talks you through the image itself, and then the card tells you its story. So it's actually the card talking, which is fantastic because you're seeing how the card is interpreting itself from the perspective of the card, which is a fantastic idea. And again, it brings it more to life, and then it gives you sort of the traditional meaning of the card, if you like. The major arcana cards all have keywords, but also have astrological correspondences. So I mean, I'm studying at the moment astrology, so this is really exciting for me. I can tie that to the astrology signs. Yeah, so I mean, the book is amazing. The book isn't color, but hey, you know, you've got the cards. So there it is. Because the deck is trying to be more real life, we do not have swords, we have blades. Because, hey, you know, when was the last time we saw someone with a sword, right? Cups as per usual, because, you know, we see cups. And then coins instead of pentacles, because you don't see pentacles lying around. And wands. Oops. And wands. All right. So I put this to one side and we can get on with the cards. Right, so what I'll do is I'll take the cards out of here, because I mean you can see how they're presented. They're just split into 2 equal piles of equal sizes. So let's take them out and put the. I mean, it's really lovely. It's really sort of solid, and how fab. Right, so I'll put them in a big pile. They are unusually big, as you can see. If I just grab a standard tarot deck card, you can see that they are quite large. So I do know people who have trimmed them. We'll see. I'm not a huge fan of trimming my decks because I'm a bit OCD and I like them to stay as the originals, but hey ho, if it does get a bit out of hand, because I mean you imagine you can't, it's really hard to shuffle those. You think my fingers can only just, and I mean I've got medium-sized hands, but people with small hands are really going to struggle to shuffle those. But anyway, let's get started, because it's such a lovely deck. Now I'm not going to go into huge detail on each card, otherwise this video is going to be humongously long. She does go, the author Palin, she does go into detail about each card and why it has what it has on it. So you know, there's always like a little sort of fairy creature here which you see in many of the cards. So she explains what that's all about in each card, but so I won't go into them. I'm literally just going to take you through the deck so that you can see what the pictures look like. You'll see instantly that it is a Rider-Waite clone. There were a few that I came across that I had to actually look up in the book because I couldn't see the tie with the Rider-Waite. But when you read the book and you see why she's done it the way she has, then it becomes clear. So it's not the end of the world. Right, so there we have the Fool. And there's the back of the cards. They're quite busy, but they're very sweet. Magician. Isn't it lovely? Creating his own magic. High Priestess. Dogs, kids, husband, household. It's lovely for the Empress, isn't it? See, he's got his little Aries mug there. Oh, and look, the birds there and there. Oh, I'm sure that's important. Great Hierophant card as well, because it's showing a multitude of different faiths with people learning. Not just the usual sort of Christian. The Rider-Waite is a Christian bishop, so... The love is also fantastic. You have sort of different types of love here. You know, you've got this elderly couple, the dog looking at them with love, the young couple. You've got the swans in the background. And there's this man kind of reaching out to this kind of spirit. You know, maybe it's a lost love. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. Chariot. I mean, how cool to have the Chariot as a skateboard. Because it's all about directing your path, isn't it? Taking control of the direction of your life, which you have to do with the skateboard. It's fantastic. And this card is amazing. I mean, strength is always about, the strength card is always about inner strength. And seeing this card, you're like, oh my goodness, what a fantastic way to portray this card. A lady in a wheelchair, clearly who is full of inner strength. Yeah, wonderful. I mean, there's loads more symbolism in the cards to get your teeth into, but Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice. You can see her hands there doing this kind of weighing up, trying to, you know, find the peace between these two fighting people. And she's actually got the Libra sign on her necklace, I've just noticed. Hanged Man. I love this. So for those of you who don't know, you know, this is the sign for an underground train station in England, and you can see them all kind of hanging around waiting, which is great for the Hanged Man, isn't it? It's kind of pausing, reflecting, slowing down, but also seeing things from a different perspective, because of course he's upside down. Great. Wonderful death card. I mean, death cards are always quite tricky, aren't they? I've got this elderly lady. It looks like a granny and a grandchild with this kind of spiritual being in the background. So much symbolism. Temperance. I also love this card as well. You can see the mum kind of trying to blend the fighting kids, trying to kind of smooth out the differences, and yet look how different they are. You've got the daughter, she's got her cross around the neck. It's a bit hard to see on this. No, you can't quite see it. She's got a cross around her neck. But the brother, you know, full on sort of rebellion, tattoos, piercings, you know, anarchy on the beanie, and you could just imagine the conflict of personalities. And it's a great card for Temperance, because you've got the mum trying to blend these two, trying to bond them, bring them together. Fantastic. The Devil, also a great card. I mean, the amount of temptation in this card. You've got, you know, a seemingly, you know, handsome man, and he's obviously got a speedy car. He's smoking goodness knows what. He's got money. There's booze. You know, there's just all sorts of temptation. You can do drug, sex, and rock and roll. This card, you can really see it. The Tower. Yeah, I mean, you know, modern day, she's on her phone, obviously calling, oh my God, this has happened. The Star, you know, there's fantastic, you know, hope, isn't there? It looks like there's been an earthquake and there's rubble and there's people kind of sifting through the rubble. And there's this lady with the star reaching out as a you know, as a sign of hope to somebody, to rescue somebody. The moon. This is one of the ones I had to look up actually because it was a bit vague. But basically it's like a homeless lady who's got her trolley of valuables, and she's roaming around town, and you know, she's got the kids teasing her. But this is all about things aren't always what they seem. There's lots of things hidden. What these kids perhaps think this lady is perhaps not entirely what she is. So I once I read the book I could see it, but at first glance I was a bit like, hey. But yes, I can see. Sun, yeah, vibrant, full of positivity. You can see here the sun coming up through the clouds, the lady, all the right hues of sunshine and warmth and optimism, positivity. Great card. You probably recognized her from the cover of the deck and the book and the box. Judgment. Young lass leaving behind her kind of drinking, partying days as she's being called forth for something more sort of pure. The hair is here for a sign of renewal. Fresh flowers, it's a fresh start, fresh way of life. It's all being kind of, you know, stepping up for what you're being called up for. Also a great card. And then the world, which I also had to look up in the book, but it was a wonderful story of how these 4 or 5 ladies representing all the different kind of cultures and people across the world are knitting this landscape, and all the animals are symbolic, and it was a lot different to what I was expecting, but nonetheless a lovely card. So that is the major arcana. So I'll leave those there. Now we're on to wands. You know, wonderful card for Ace of Wands, isn't it? Look at that blank sheet of paper just waiting for creativity to burst forth. Wonderful. Two of Wands. Rock star. I'm going to go through these quickly because I can see this video is going to be too long if I... 3 of Wands. So the whole kind of exploring, expanding. 4 of Wands. 5 of Wands. I mean, there's so much conflict happening there, isn't it? The dogs are fighting, the kids are fighting, the man's fighting with the kids, the guy's fighting with the weather. Birds are fighting. 6 of Wands. You know, lovely representation, isn't it, of victory. 7 of Wands. Protesting, standing up for what you believe in. 8 of Wands. 9 of Wands. It's that kind of, you know, injured, but I'm still standing and I'm still going to keep going. 10 of Wands. Also great picture. You know, normally it's, you know, the guy carrying the 10 branches on his back, but this, you get a real sense of overwhelm, you know, clock ticking, deadlines looming, phones ringing. You know, she's got coffee, she's trying to stay awake, it's night time, she's obviously got assignments she needs to do. It's just so much to do. It's just a card of overwhelm, isn't it? The court cards in this deck are amazing. I mean, look at this young boy. I mean, you can, you know, we all know a child like this, don't we? They want to go out exploring. They, you know, here he is jumping across the river, and his friends are like, "Oh, where are you going?" He's like, "I'm off to go explore. I've got my torch. I'm off." Knight of Wands. Again, the court card's so fab. I mean, look at him. He is wild. Wild. You can almost see sort of like a Hell's Angels type thing. Just full of energy, and everybody's like, oh my word. No, he's like, I'm out of here. Queen of Wands, how wonderful. She's got the cat on her outfit. It's just full of dynamic energy. Love the fireworks in the background, and she's got her sunflower there. Wonderful, wonderful. And the King of Wands also, I mean, this man is blind, and he's obviously running some sort of race, and he's got people cheering him on. But wow, what a fantastic way to represent the King of Wands, because the King of Wands, it's not necessarily about looks with the King of Wands, it's charisma and it's drive and it's the type of energy that they give off. And you know, he looks like quite an amazing person. He's overcome his disability, and he's going ahead with achieving something, you know, and you can see he's won the respect of these people behind him. They're all, you know, excited, and it's just what a great way to represent that card. So those are the Wands cards. Now we're on to Pentacles or coins. So here, you know, the building, the materialistic things, the grounded earthy element. Just put that down there so that I can just put these to the side. Oh, look at those choices, hey? Wow. I want both, I want both. Three of Pentacles, or Three of Coins is, you know, very often about teamwork or people working together. And you can see here this barge that's going through a lock, and with the locks, certainly in Norfolk in England, you know, it's always great to have people on either side. You need one person to open the lock, and then people to pull these gates open. And when you're on your own, it's a real bugger to get through, because you kind of got to do all these multiple jobs and then jump back in your boat, go through, and then get out, and you know, close all the gates behind you so that the next people come along. But when you've got people up there that can help you, fantastic. And you see there he's giving the thumbs up, so lovely teamwork card. Four of Coins. Yeah, we've all built sand castles and then been protective of them in case somebody comes and, you know, runs with their dog and knocks it over. Great card. Five of Coins. You can see the poor people outside, you know, begging and out in the cold, and, you know, here's this lady inside being all sort of frivolous, and quite a heavy going card that, but whoops. Six of Coins. Also a lady well off, you know, giving coins to people less fortunate than herself, be it for charities or for homeless people. There's even a dog trying to get in on the act there. Seven of Coins. Yeah, wonderful. All homemade crafts. Eight of Coins. Bit of an apprenticeship going there. Nine of Coins. Yeah, that lady's done well for herself. She's got a plate of lovely food, you know, grapes and cheese, and sitting in her library. You can see that, you know, the furnishings are quite lavish. She looks like she's got an oriental cat there. She's done well for herself, she has. And then 10 of Coins obviously is a standard kind of family scene, but, you know, with abundance. The coins, the clothing, the furniture, the fire. Page of Coins, earning a quick buck by taking the dogs walking. Entrepreneurial spirit. Knight of Coins, out there taking his time polishing the cars when all his friends are having fun and they're a bit laughing at him, but he's like, no, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to get this car done. Queen of Coins. I love this card. I have a vegetable garden, so I often relate a lot to this card. So yeah, she's obviously been growing her own veg, and now she is selling them. She made jams and everything. And then the King of Coins, wonderful, is a farmer. I mean, how fantastic, you know. His land is his life. It's a wonderful card. So that's pentacles or coins. I should move over a little bit. So now we've got cups. This is one of the ones I looked up because I wasn't sure how this picture could relate to kind of a new beginning in cups. But this was all about you know, starting to do something once you have a collection of like-minded people, and that comes from loving and accepting each other. So yeah, Two of Cups, and this is also great because there's you know, a homosexual couple, there's a heterosexual I think there's a heterosexual couple, or I think there might be two women, and then there's a heterosexual couple there. So this isn't highlighting sort of one specific type of relationship, it's highlighting a relationship between two people, which is great. So it doesn't matter what, and in fact, you know, there's a child here and a dog, and in any way, shape or form, when you have two people together, there is some sort of relationship. It might not even be a romantic relationship, it could be, you know, boss and colleague or mother-daughter. So this is a way to highlight those different types of relationships. I also thought that was a great card. Three of Cups. Four of Cups. I'm so bored. I've got my phone, my headphones. I've drunk so much coffee. I'm so bored. Yeah, shame, that's quite a sad card, Five of Cups. But yes, you know, regret and loss. You can see it there, can't you? Even some of the flowers have died by the grave. She's obviously mourning. Very sad. But excellent representation. So, Six of Cups. Mum looking out for the kids, having a little birthday party. Seven of Cups. This is a great card. You know, usually it's somebody looking up to the sky and there's all these clouds with all these different choices in, but the author's chosen to have a tattoo artist here that's doing a tattoo on the back of this lady. But if you look very carefully, all those things that are in the clouds of the standard Rider-Waite card can be found somewhere on the tattoos. So really great way to show the card. Eight of Cups. Walking away, leaving it all behind. Yeah, look at it all. Dirty dishes, household chores. Had enough. Walking away. Nine of Cups. Lavish abundance and love. Look at that. Lovely. And then Ten of Cups, your standard kind of happy families card. Yeah, Page of Cups. I love this. Look at this little girl. She's got her drawings, her sketches, her painting. You know, she's outside and she's been creating, you know. Wonderful, wonderful for a Page of Cups. Knight of Cups is there with his rose because he's the romantic of the deck. And he's there busking in an underground train station. Looks like he's trying to woo this lady over. Queen of Cups, wonderful. A lady who's out in the town and she sat down with a homeless person and their dog, and she's sitting and talking to her, which is also a wonderful way to represent this card, because the Queen of Cups is all about sort of nurturing and loving, and you know, homeless people, you know, don't often get talked to and acknowledged, and it's a great way of showing the nurturing nature of the Queen of Cups. And then King of Cups. There's just loving family man, isn't he? Look at him. He's full of paint. He's obviously been painting with the kids, and I love the way they've got the painting of the sea in the background to show the water element. Wonderful. So that's the cups. So last one is blades. Yeah, this is one I looked up as well. I was like, hey. But this is talking about having very, very precise thought in order to do something like this. And obviously they're operating on this poor dog. I wouldn't have got that from the card, I must say, but once I read it in the book I could see where they were going with it. Shame. Hope he gets better, little dog. Two of Blades. You can see there also with the, you know, with the knives crossed as well, and the kids sort of arguing in the background. Is like, I don't want to know about this. I can't see this challenge. I refuse to look at it right now. I've got too much on my plate. Kids are fighting. Final notice of the bills. My drink spilled. Three of Blades. Also an interesting way to represent it, you know, with the pins going into the heart. But yes, it's about heartbreak and loss and grief. Excuse me, but also perhaps repairing, you know, repairing that grief. 3 is, after all, about growth and expansion, isn't it? Four of Blades. Rest and respite out in nature. Even the little wood nymphs here are having a snooze, and the badgers are having a snooze. Five of Blades. You don't want to mess with this dude, not with those knives. Yikes. Six of Blades. That's also a great way. It's that kind of transition in movement, but watching your step. Yeah. Seven of Blades. Yep, catch him, he's getting away with it. Eight of Blades. You know, that kind of seemingly trapped feeling when you've got so much going on and the dog's barking, the child's crying. You just feel like you need to escape. Nine of Blades. Also quite a heavy going card, but this is sort of mental anguish. You can see the barbed wire around her wrists. There's a lot of mental anguish in this card. And the ten of Swords in a traditional tarot deck is always quite gruesome. Traditionally, there's a person lying on the ground with 10 swords in their back, and there's always, you know, blood everywhere, and it's always a bit heavy. But this is a great way of showing the card's meaning, but in a sort of modern day, everyone is against me. The cat doesn't like me, the person behind me doesn't like me, there's somebody else there with a broken bottle who's after me. You know, there's barbed wire, there's spiky things there, the cameras, even the owl looks like it's coming to get me. So it's that kind of everybody's against me and I need to get away. It's the same meaning, but a much less sort of gruesome way of showing it, which is nice. You know, you can still get the meaning without the gore. I love this card as well. It's like a, you know, this little boy is so going to be sort of a biologist or a scientist when he grows up. There's that kind of capacity for intellect and studying. Wonderful way to represent a Page of Swords. There's your knight, outspoken, vocal. The lady looks well bored. Queen of Swords, I mean, fantastic. She is a scientist. I mean, maybe the page is going to grow into her position, but yes, you know, she's a scientist, and of course you need to have that analytical thought and sharp mind for something like that, as you do for the King of Blades, who's a lawyer or barrister or some sort of form of legal profession. So that's the deck. Isn't it wonderful? It's so lovely to have real life scenes, because sometimes tarot can get away with us, and it can become overly mystical, and when it becomes overly mystical, then we can't often relate them to our everyday lives. But when you have cards like this, where you can actually see how that card meaning pans out in real life, then it makes it much easier to understand the card and perhaps learn how to apply it in your life, or learn the lessons that it wants you to teach, what you to learn. So so that's the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. I hope you enjoyed the little walkthrough. If you've got any comments or questions, please fire away. And you know all the usual. Please like the video and subscribe if you would like to see any more. Hope to see you soon. Cheers then. Bye for now.